Hi, my name is Kimberly Mingsul. Welcome to my yoga channel. Today we're going to do a Yin Yoga sequence, and you might find it most comfortable if you have a blanket or a towel, a block, a belt, and a bolster or a big cushion close by. Our first pose today is going to be squat. It's possible that you want to sit on a block or anything you can find around the house to sit on as low to the floor as possible. Some of us will want to just relax our hands on the floor, relax your shoulders, relax the forehead down to the floor. Others might find it more comfortable to rest against their big pillow. Try to get your feet as parallel as possible, but when we're first starting, of course, your feet are really wide apart, and it's much easier if you open them out, creating more space for the body. But the more advanced you get, you want to try to get your feet closer together and more parallel. When you've finally figured out where you need to be in your Yin Yoga pose, close your eyes, go into yourself, and find peace in the pose. Begin focusing on the breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Filling your lungs completely full, emptying your lungs completely empty. Equal deep inhalation as exhalation. Think ocean wave movements as you breathe. Just as ocean waves slowly, calmly roll into shore as you breathe in, allow them to roll equally as slowly and calmly back out to sea as you breathe out. A lot of people find it helpful to visualize the waves. Some people think it's easier just to think breathe in, breathe out. The whole point is clear your thoughts. As much as possible, focus only on the breath and what your body is experiencing right now. If you're feeling discomfort in your ankles, your legs, your lower back, wherever your discomfort may be, try to send the breath to that area and relax, finding peace in the pose. If you're finding that you're holding your breath, or if you're experiencing a shooting pain, then you need to lift the buttocks up onto a block or a step stool or a book. If you're so comfortable you could take a nap, you should go deeper, meaning feet closer together, feet more parallel, buttocks closer to the floor. We've got 60 more seconds in this pose. Remember, in Yin Yoga, we're trying to release tension. In order to do that, you have to relax the muscles to work beyond these muscles so that we can make contact with fascia, microfascia, tendons, joints, nerves, inner organs. 30 more seconds. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. Peace in the pose, peace in the mind. Relax the ankles, relax the sit muscles, relax the thighs. 10 more seconds. Carefully place the hands on the floor if they're not already there. Looking down at the floor, pull the navel in to the spine to firm the belly in order to support your spine. Inhale, come up with the sit muscles, relax the neck, and this is going to be our next Yin pose, dangling pose. So you can either have your hands on the floor or on your pillow or on a stack of books or blocks. You could possibly be supporting yourself with your bolster if it's firm enough. Just find your yummy spot where you're completely relaxed in the hips, you're completely relaxed in the shoulders and the neck. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs, go into your dangling pose and find peace. If you find that you need to sway a little bit forward and back, weight towards the toes, weight towards the heels, that's okay. If you find that it's bearable to move from one foot and then the other foot, subtle movement, that's okay too. And if you prefer to remain completely 100% still, that's okay. So what's most important is you're completely relaxed in the neck and the shoulders. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. After a little bit of time in this pose, it's quite possible you're able to melt a little bit deeper. We're never forcing in yoga, we're releasing. If you need to have a tiny micro bend in the knees, that's okay. Be happy with where you are. Be content with what you're able to accomplish today. Eyes are closed. We're looking for stillness and darkness. We have 2 more minutes in this pose. The belly is soft. Relax the jaw, relax the tongue. In addition to a nice hamstring stretch, we're instigating circulation when we have our brain and our heart lower than our larger muscles, the glutes. Constantly bring your thoughts back to your breath and back to what your body is experiencing. Thirty more seconds. Focusing on the breath, you're filling your lungs completely full, emptying your lungs completely empty. Using whatever visualization technique helps you. Maybe you're using ocean wave visualizing. Pull the belly in, slowly roll all the way up. If you need to use your hands on your legs or thighs to help support yourself up, roll your shoulders back and just remain standing. Let all of the blood find a chance to roll back down into the right direction. Dragon pose is what we're going to do next. It's quite possible you want to place a folded blanket or a folded towel underneath the left knee, which is on the floor. The left knee is now on the floor. The right knee is bent, and you're looking for a really good hip flexor stretch. So you really want to get this foot as far forward as possible. You'd like to keep your hips parallel, one hand on one side of the foot, the other hand on the other side of the foot. If you're not quite that flexible, you can support your elbows on your knee. You may set the pillow on your knee. Remember, we're not looking for pain with the knee against the floor, so put a cushion or a folded blanket or something under there for extra cushioning, and go into your pose, as deep into the pose, dragon pose that feels good. Relax the neck, forehead to the floor. Relax the hips. If you experience like a catch in your hip or something, it's okay to come back out of the pose and then try to gently go back into the pose again. Sometimes we do get a little catch and we need to just work it out. Listen to your body and do what you need to do. If you're experiencing a shooting pain, or if you find that it's so uncomfortable that you're holding your breath, you're too deep and you need to back off of the pose a little bit. But wherever you are, when you have found your yummy spot, as we like to call it, that's when you want to close your eyes and bring your focus onto the breath and relax every muscle in your entire body, every muscle possible. Anywhere you're experiencing discomfort, relax that area. Relax the sit muscles, the thighs, the belly, the shoulders, and the neck. You're focusing on the breath. Another breathing technique is when you imagine that your breath is an elevator and your spinal column is the shaft of the elevator, and as you breathe in, allow your breath to follow the spinal column all the way from the coccyx bone, the tailbone, up to the brain. And then when you exhale, imagine that elevator traveling back down the spinal column shaft. When the elevator comes all the way to the top on your inhalation, hold your breath for a split second and allow people to exit the elevator. Allow people to enter the elevator. Exhale, follow your breath all the way down the spinal column. When you come all the way to the end, hold your breath and imagine people again exiting and entering your elevator before you then continue. Equal deep inhalation as exhalation with a bit of breath retention between each breath. Long Yin Yoga poses and breath retention is not a good idea if you're expecting. If you're a practiced yogi and you've been doing this forever, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But if you're new to yoga and you are expecting, don't hold your breath. Let your breath free flow, and don't hold your poses 3+ minutes. The poses are safe if you're expecting. These poses are anyway. Just don't hold them for 3 or more minutes. Listen to your body, and when you get uncomfortable, come out of the pose. We're going to switch it up now, and both hands are going to go inside the foot, and we're going to try to get our elbows down onto the floor or onto a pillow or onto a block. So we're moving from dragon to lizard pose. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs, going deeper into the hip stretch. More of a hip flexor stretch. Relax the areas that are giving you discomfort. You can allow the head to hang all the way down. The head can rest on a pillow. There's no wrong way to use any kind of support mechanism, as long as you're not experiencing stress. We're trying to make this as comfortable as possible. However, we have certain points in each asana that are our focal points. And right now, we're really working on the hips and the lower back. So if you're experiencing discomfort in the shoulders and the neck, then you need to find a cushion or something to help alleviate that discomfort. Relax the hips. It's okay to move them from side to side if you need to. Then find stillness again. "60 more seconds. Relax the thighs, relax the ankles. Relax the sit muscles. "30 more seconds. Focus on the breath. And firm the belly. Slowly come up onto all fours. Take all of the time in the world you need to come out of these yin poses. And when you're back onto all fours, draw a big circle with your hips. And then, if it feels good, add the spinal column, the shoulders, the head and the neck. If it feels good, you're doing it right. We're just working out the kinks, a little yang movement after our yin pose. And curl your toes under. Lift the sit muscles up to downward facing dog. Look forward, come forward with the left foot. Dragon pose on the left-hand side. So relax the back leg. Make sure that you're getting a good hip flexor stretch, the front of the hip on the right-hand side now. And you can move your hips a little bit left, a little bit right, trying to find exactly where your body is experiencing the most tension. And when you have found that area, that's where you need to find peace in your pose and remain. You may have your hands up on your knee. You may have your pillow up on your thigh, propping your elbows on the pillow. You may not need a pillow at all, but the neck and the shoulders are completely relaxed. Focus on your breath. Hum Sa or Sa Hum breathing technique, elevator visualizing up and down the spinal column. If it's easier for you to think that you're sitting on the shore, visualizing ocean waves coming in and out, that's okay too. Whatever works for you is the right breathing technique for you here and now. Relax the throat. We're not looking for Ujjayi breath. Those that are from the Hatha yoga practice, we're not trying to generate heat in our bodies. We're not trying to burn calories. We're not trying to break a sweat. We're simply trying to release tension, alleviate stress. Relax all the muscles in your body. Clearly, some muscles have to be subtly active so that we don't fall over, but we're trying to use as minimal possible. Two more minutes. We're filling our lungs completely full. We're emptying our lungs completely empty. We're surrendering to the pose. We're allowing our body to melt into the pose. We're finding peace in the discomfort with the use of breath and relaxation. Your shoulders are fine, your neck is comfortable, no stress there. If you're experiencing stress there, find a way to alleviate that. Again, there's no wrong way to use our support paraphernalia. When other thoughts come to mind, bring yourself constantly back to the breath. 30 more seconds. Firm belly. Bring the left arm inside the feet. If possible, come down onto the elbows. Adjust your hips, adjust what needs to be adjusted. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips, relax the lumbar, the lower portion of your back. Let your body melt closer to the mat, focusing on the breath. Two more minutes. Relax the foot, relax the ankle, relax the calves. Relax the belly. Relax the hips, the shoulders, the neck. Focus on the breath. If thoughts come to mind, chatter, I call it, that's not important, comes to mind, just sweep those aside and bring yourself back to the breath. Sixty more seconds. Thirty more seconds. Firm the belly, pull the navel muscles in towards the spinal column and slowly come up and out of the pose. Take your time, no sudden movements, gentle Coming out of these Yin Yoga poses. Back onto all fours. Cat and cow. Exhale, look between the thighs, press the spinal column up to the ceiling. Inhale, sway the spinal column, look up, tailbone up. Just a few more of these. Exhale, pressing the spinal column up to the sky. Inhale, tailbone up, head up. The navel is pulled to the spinal column, so don't let your belly hang down to the floor here. Anytime we're moving in yoga, that navel lock is engaged to support the spine. And tuck your toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. Gaze between the thighs. Rotate your hips to the ceiling one at a time. You're twisting through the hips so that one hip goes up to the ceiling and then the other. Just a little hip release here. And look forward and come to sitting on your buttocks. You're going to want a belt close by, a blanket close by, and possibly your pillow. And we're going to do sleeping butterfly, also known as pigeon in yang forms of yoga. So if you, those of you that get confused and you hear sleeping butterfly, I thought that was pigeon, you think to yourself, it is. It's just that yin yoga poses have different names than hatha yoga poses. So the first step into going into sleeping butterfly, the right knee is bent so that the foot comes forward. The left knee is bent so the left foot goes to the buttocks. This is called deer pose. You're going to rotate your upper body towards the knee, and you're paying attention to this right knee, the knee that's in front. If you're experiencing discomfort here, I want you to bring the left knee closer into the foot and rotate the body even more. We do not want to experience discomfort stretching in or around the front knee. If this knee is happy, you can then start straightening out the back knee, eventually getting yourself completely straight with that leg behind you, and you're wanting to work on getting your hips parallel to the floor. So if you notice that your right hip is rolling up to the sky, then you want to take your folded blanket or towel and tuck it under your right sit muscles. So if the left hip is rolling up, you want to put a cushion or something under your right sit muscles so that your hips go back down to the floor. If you start experiencing stretching in the knee, take the torque off by bending the knee and doing the pose with the back knee bent. Now, those that have more flexibility, you can start working this leg, the front leg, more forward. One day, we're wanting that to be parallel to the yoga mat in front of you, but don't overpress yourself, don't overstress yourself. Remember, hips are not rolling up, hips are rolling down. Elongate the back, come down, lying flat on the floor, or prop yourself on your head, or you could be laying on your pillow, or you could very well be in this position. So listen to your body, find your yummy spot, and remain there. 3 minutes, the clock has already begun. Relax the hips. Relax the thighs and the hamstrings. Relax the belly. Focus on the breath. Equal deep inhalation as exhalation. Maybe Arahan or Arahan breathing technique is good to use here. That's when you're visualizing the number 8 and your upper body is the number 8. So pretend that you're breathing up from the pubic bone up over your belly. Continue the inhalation through the neck and up the back of the head. Hold your breath for a split second if you're not pregnant, and then exhale down the face, in through the neck, down along the spinal column, around the tailbone. Hold your breath out for a split second before you then begin your inhalation again. You're using your upper body as a number 8, allowing your breath to follow that number 8. "60 more seconds. "30 more seconds. Firm the belly and come up. You're going to want your belt close by. Hands by the hips, and this front foot, pull it back in towards the hip. Your hips, both of them are still pointing to the floor. And the first step from here is to lift the foot from the floor and just start wiggling the foot. And that might be enough. Just work on that today. The next step is to grab your foot and press the foot into the buttocks. That is quite an exaggerated stretch in the thigh, in the sit muscles for some of us, in the hamstrings for some of us, but mostly in the hip flexors and the thigh. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. Those that want to play a little bit can take their belt around the ankle and start stretching their arms up. Now we're getting a back bend and a shoulder stretch. Eventually, we can start walking our arms closer to the foot. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. Release and change positions. So now the left foot is coming around forward to the front of the body. The right foot, knee bends backward so that the foot goes towards the buttocks. Deer position for those that experience discomfort in the knee. Those that are more flexible can begin working on straightening out the knee. Remember, if your right hip starts rolling to the sky, tuck a blanket underneath your sit muscles on the left side to counteract that. We want our hips pointing to the floor. At the same time, those that are super flexible and have more to give can start working the left shin more forward so that one day it's parallel with the front of your yoga mat. Hips to the floor. When you have found your yummy spot, relax into the pose. Find peace in your pose. Fill your lungs, empty your lungs. Eyes are closed. And take your scan through the body. Eyes are closed. You're inside yourself, paying close attention to everything your body's experiencing here and now. So, relax any area of discomfort. If you're so comfortable you can take a nap, then you need to get that front foot more forward. You need to rotate the hips more to the floor. We're being extremely careful with the left knee. No stretching in or around the left knee. That's really important. We're not forcing, we're releasing. We're completely relaxing the shoulders and the neck. You may notice that you're more flexible on one side than you are on the other side. Most of us are. Not always, but typically, if you're right-handed, you're going to be stiffer on the right side because those are the muscles you use the most. "90 more seconds. Relax the sit muscles. From the belly, come up with the upper body. Support your weight onto the hands, straight elbows, and start trying to lift the foot behind you and just wiggle that foot. That's the first step. The next step is to grab the foot. If you can't grab the foot, you can use your belt, or you can just work on someday getting there. Eventually, you'll be able to grab it. When you're able to grab it, press the foot towards the sit muscles. Super uncomfortable stretch in the thigh for most of us. Try to breathe through that discomfort. And those that want to play a little bit with flexibility, use your belt around the ankle. And think now, don't let your back compress here. Instead, elongate, finding more stretch in the front of the body so that you're able to achieve more of a back bend. Exhale, release. We need our block behind us or a stack of books. You can even use the sofa. If you're sitting on the floor in front of your sofa or the bed, place your bolster or your big pillow on the block or up on the edge of the couch. Slowly, you want your buttocks at the bolster. Place your hands on the floor. Slowly lie down. You want your pillow to be at an angle supporting you, supporting your head, your shoulders, and your hands are going to relax on the floor beside the hips with your palms up. If it feels good, soles of the feet together and allow the knees to open to the side. Close your eyes, a breathing exercise now. Inhale, fill your lungs completely and squeeze the right hand into a fist. When you cannot inhale more, exhale, releasing your right fist. Left hand. Inhale, squeeze the fist as tight as possible. Exhale, relax the left fist. Now the right side on an inhalation. Inhale, squeezing as tight as possible. Stay focused. Don't start resting here. Keep with this breathing practice. Exhale. This is extremely relaxing. Inhale. Squeeze the left hand as tight, tight, tight as possible. Fill your lungs completely full. Breath retention for those that are not pregnant, and then release the hand. Inhale, squeeze the right fist. Exhale, release. 3 more rounds. Inhale, left hand. Exhale. Inhale, right hand. Allow the shoulders to relax closer to the floor. Exhale, release. Inhale, left hand, squeeze as tight as possible. Exhale, release. Inhale, right hand. Exhale, right hand, release. Last round. Inhale, left hand, fist. Exhale. Inhale, right hand, fist. Exhale, and just relax. Relax the arms, relax the feet, relax the jaw, relax the tongue. Allow the breath to come back to a normal, spontaneous breath without any type of control. And rest. While you're resting, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did, and it would be great if you subscribed. I'll see you next time. Namaste.